Have you ever wondered why you are still single, while everyone around you seems to be finding their person? Why every door you thought would open has stayed locked? Every connection you felt sure about has faded, and every prayer for companionship seems to echo back unanswered. What if I told you that this isn't happening to you, but for you? What if your singleness isn't a sign that something is wrong with you, but rather proof that something is profoundly right? You are not here by accident. This video found you at the exact moment your spirit needed this truth. And I promise you, by the time we finish, you will never see your waiting season the same way again. If you sense this message is meant for you, type 777 in the comments right now. Let that be your agreement with what heaven is about to reveal. And make sure you subscribe and hit that notification bell, because this channel exists to reach chosen ones like you. And you don't want to miss what is coming next. Recognizing your calling in singleness, let me start with a truth that might shake everything you have believed. Your singleness is not a problem waiting to be solved. It is a calling waiting to be honored. The world has taught you to see this season as incomplete, as if you are stuck in a hallway between where you were and where you are supposed to be. But chosen one, you are not in a hallway, you are in a sanctuary, and there is a profound difference between the two. From the moment you were born, God marked you as different. Even before you could name it, you felt the pull towards something deeper, something that set you apart from the crowd. Maybe you were the child who preferred solitude over parties, who asked questions others found too heavy, who sensed things in people that no one else seemed to notice. That was not social awkwardness. That was spiritual sensitivity. That pull has shaped your entire journey, including your relationships, where others could easily settle into partnerships that look good on the surface. God would not allow you to. He has been protecting your heart, your energy, and your destiny from connections that would derail your purpose. You see, there is a difference between being alone and being lonely. And there is an even greater difference between being single and being set apart. You have not been randomly left out of the relationship game. You have been strategically positioned by a God who sees what you cannot yet see. He knows the weight of the calling on your life. He knows the spiritual battles you will face. He knows the level of discernment, strength, and clarity you will need. And he refused to let you enter those battles, distracted, divided, or drained by the wrong connection. Relationships are not just about finding someone to share your life with. They are spiritual covenants that bind destinies together, for someone carrying the calling you carry. God cannot afford for you to be yoked to the wrong person. Even a kind, well-meaning partner who is spiritually misaligned can pull your entire life off course. This is why doors you were certain about slammed shut. This is why people you thought were permanent suddenly vanished without explanation. It wasn't rejection, it was divine redirection. Think about the times you met someone and felt an instant spark, only to watch it dissolve before anything real could form. Or the relationships that seemed perfect on paper but felt wrong in your spirit. Those weren't failures. Those were God's hand moving on your behalf, removing what looked right but was wrong for your soul. In your singleness, God is developing something in you that most people never cultivate: discernment. The ability to see beyond attraction, chemistry, and compatibility into the spiritual reality of a person. Chosen ones need razor-sharp discernment, because your future partner will not just be someone you love. They will be a co-laborer in the assignment God has given you. If you commit before this discernment fully matures, you risk binding yourself to someone who appears compatible but cannot walk with you into your next level. This is also why you have experienced seasons where you pulled back from dating entirely, lost interest in social circles, and felt an unexplainable dissatisfaction with the idea of settling down just to fit in. During those times, God was clearing the noise, so you could hear his voice with absolute clarity. Your assignment is not small, chosen one. God is not just preparing you to be someone's spouse. He is preparing you to carry influence, to speak truth into broken places, to shift spiritual atmospheres wherever you step. You cannot walk into that level of authority without deep seasons of refinement. And refinement happens best in solitude. While others fill their calendars with distractions, you are being trained in the quiet, and that training is priceless. If this is resonating with your spirit, drop a comment and let me know where you are watching from. I want to see how far this message is reaching. Spiritual protection and energy preservation. One of the most crucial reasons God has kept you single is because your spirit carries a weight that not everyone can handle, and not everyone should be allowed to touch. You are not just a physical being. You are a spiritual vessel carrying light, authority, and purpose. The wrong connection can drain that light faster than you realize, and the enemy knows this. So God has placed a protective barrier around you, one that often feels like isolation, but is actually divine security. Every relationship is an energy exchange. Every conversation, every moment shared, every emotional bond transfers spiritual substance between two people. For a chosen one whose very presence can alter the atmosphere of a room, this exchange is sacred and must be guarded. Imagine pouring water into a cup that has a crack at the bottom. No matter how much God fills you, if you are connected to someone who is leaking your energy, you will constantly feel depleted. This is why some relationships ended abruptly with no real explanation. You thought it was your fault or theirs, but often it was neither. It was God preserving what He has invested in you. Think about it this way. You are like a lighthouse built on a cliff, designed to guide ships safely through dangerous waters. Your light is not for decoration. It serves a critical purpose. Now, imagine if someone came along and convinced you to dim your light because it made them uncomfortable, or to abandon your post because standing alone felt too isolating. Ships would crash, lives would be lost, your assignment would fail. God will not allow that to happen. So He guards your light fiercely, even if that means keeping you isolated, until He sends someone who not only appreciates your light, but helps you shine brighter. You have probably noticed that you cannot engage in shallow relationships the way others seem to. Small talk drains you. Surface-level friendships feel empty. You crave depth, authenticity, and purpose in every connection. That is not a personality flaw. That is your spirit, recognizing that you were not designed for shallow waters. You were built for the deep, and God will not let you waste your energy on connections that keep you in the shallow end. You may have noticed that certain people drain you without even trying. A conversation that should be simple leaves you exhausted. Time spent with them feels heavy, like you are carrying a weight that isn't yours. That is not coincidence. That is your spirit recognizing an incompatible frequency. God designed you to operate at a certain vibration, and when you connect with someone operating on a lower frequency, you either pull them up or they pull you down. And if they are not willing or ready to rise, you will spend all your energy trying to lift dead weight. This is especially true in romantic relationships. The person you are intimately connected to has access to your spiritual atmosphere. They influence your peace, your clarity, your faith. If that person is not aligned with God's will for your life, their presence will create constant turbulence in your spirit. And for someone with your calling, turbulence is not just uncomfortable. It is dangerous. It can delay or even derail the very thing God is preparing you to do. So God has kept certain people at a distance, not because you are unworthy of love, but because you are too valuable to be drained by the wrong love. During this season, God is also teaching you to recognize your own worth independent of anyone else. Many chosen ones fall into the trap of believing their value increases when they are partnered. But the truth is, your worth was established before you took your first breath. Singleness gives you the space to see yourself through God's eyes. Whole, complete, lacking nothing. When you truly understand that, you stop attracting relationships out of loneliness and start attracting from a place of wholeness. And that changes everything, healing generational patterns and breaking cycles. There is another layer to your singleness that many people overlook. God is not only protecting your future, He is also healing your past. Specifically, He is using this season to break generational cycles that have plagued your family line for decades. If you look closely at the relationship patterns in your family, you will likely see repeated themes: divorce, infidelity, dysfunction, emotional unavailability, abuse. These patterns did not start with your parents or even your grandparents. They have been passed down like inherited traits, and they were on track to continue through you until God intervened. Chosen one, you were selected to be the cycle breaker, the one who stops the generational curse in its tracks and establishes a new legacy. But you cannot break a cycle you have not healed from. This is why God has given you this extended season of singleness. He is pulling up roots that go deeper than you can see. He is healing wounds you didn't even know you carried. Wounds from watching unhealthy relationships growing up. Wounds from your own past heartbreaks. Wounds from abandonment, betrayal, or neglect. All of it is being addressed in this season, so that when you do enter into covenant with someone, you enter clean. Let me paint a picture for you. Imagine your family tree as an actual tree. For generations, that tree has been producing bitter fruit. Divorce, dysfunction, infidelity, emotional abuse. The soil has been poisoned by unresolved trauma, unhealthy patterns, and spiritual bondage. Now God looks at that tree and says, I am going to plant a new seed. That seed is you. But before you can grow into something different, I have to detoxify the soil. I have to uproot every poisonous thing that has been feeding this tree for decades. That process is painful. It requires digging deep. It takes time. But when it is done, you will produce fruit that is sweet, healthy, and life-giving. Fruit that your children and grandchildren will eat from for generations. If God had allowed you to marry before this healing was complete, you would have unconsciously repeated the same destructive patterns you witnessed. You would have married someone who mirrored the dysfunction you grew up around, because that is what feels familiar. The daughter of an emotionally distant father often marries an emotionally distant man. The son of a controlling mother often attracts controlling partners. We are drawn to what we know, even when what we know is toxic. But God loves you too much to let you build a marriage on a broken foundation. So He pressed pause on your romantic life and said, we are going to deal with this first. And though it has felt lonely and at times unbearable, this process is one of the greatest gifts He could give you. Think about the unhealthy relationship patterns you have already recognized in yourself. Maybe you have a tendency to people please. Maybe you struggle with setting boundaries. Maybe you attract emotionally unavailable people or find yourself repeating the same arguments in every relationship. These are not random. These are generational echoes, and God is silencing them in you right now. Every time you choose to sit with your emotions instead of numbing them, you are breaking a cycle. Every time you set a healthy boundary, you are breaking a cycle. Every time you refuse to settle for less than God's best, you are breaking a cycle. And here is what is beautiful. When you do finally meet your kingdom partner, you will not bring generational baggage into that union. You will bring freedom. You will bring health. You will bring the ability to build something entirely new, something that honors God and creates a legacy worth passing down. Your children and your children's children will benefit from the work you are doing right now in secret. They will never have to fight the battles you fought because you already won them. That is the power of being a cycle breaker. Stewardship of your single season. Now that you understand why God has you in this season, the question becomes, what are you going to do with it? Because chosen one, you have a choice. You can spend this time passively waiting, resenting your singleness, and wishing your life looked different. Or you can steward this season with intention, using it to become the person God has called you to be. The second option is the only one that leads to fulfillment. Stewardship begins with your spiritual life. This season is your opportunity to build an unshakable foundation in God. Dive deeper into His Word, not just reading it, but meditating on it, letting it transform the way you think. Develop a prayer life that is not just about asking for things, but about cultivating intimacy with Him. Learn to hear His voice with clarity. Sit in silence long enough to distinguish between your own thoughts, the enemy's lies, and God's truth. Discover who you are in Christ apart from anyone else's influence. When you meet your future spouse, they should find you already rooted in God, not looking for them to be your spiritual anchor. Here is what happens when you build this foundation properly. You stop needing validation from people because you have received it from God. You stop seeking approval because you have already been approved by the only one whose opinion truly matters. You stop chasing connections out of fear of loneliness because you have learned to enjoy the presence of God. And when you reach that place, you become incredibly attractive to the right kind of person. Not because you are trying to be, but because wholeness is magnetic. This is also the time to pursue your purpose with everything in you. What has God placed on your heart to do? What gifts are lying dormant because you have been distracted or discouraged? What dreams have you shelved because you convinced yourself they were not practical or achievable? This season is your green light. Use it to develop those gifts. Take the class. Start the business. Write the book. Launch the ministry. Create the art. Build the platform. Whatever it is that burns in your spirit, pour yourself into it now. When your partner arrives, they should find you already walking in purpose, not waiting for them to unlock it. That kind of union is unstoppable. Your health matters too. Physical, mental, and emotional. Take care of your body. It is the temple God gave you, and how you treat it reflects how you honor Him. Develop healthy habits now. Move your body, nourish it with real food. Get proper sleep. These things might seem mundane, but they matter. You cannot fulfill your calling if you are constantly exhausted, sick, or running on empty. Work on your emotional well-being as well. You are sowing into a movement that is awakening people to their divine identity. Thank you for even considering it. Steward your finances wisely in this season as well. Get out of unnecessary debt. Build healthy spending habits. Learn to save and invest. The financial stability you create now will bless your future household in ways you cannot yet imagine. Also, build strong, life-giving friendships. Surround yourself with people who sharpen your faith and call out the best in you. Community is essential, not as a replacement for romantic love, but as a support system that keeps you grounded and encouraged. Most importantly, learn contentment. Contentment does not mean you stop desiring marriage. It means you find joy and fulfillment in God, regardless of your relationship status. When you are content in Him, you stop clinging to people out of fear of being alone. You enter relationships from abundance, not desperation. And that shift makes all the difference in the world. Chosen one, this single season is not a pause on your life. It is an investment in your future. Every day you choose to steward it well. You are storing up blessings for what is coming. You are becoming the version of yourself who can not only attract the right partner, but also sustain a healthy, thriving relationship. Do not waste this time. Use it actively, intentionally, and prayerfully. Pour into your spirit, your purpose, your healing, and your joy. When the time comes and God brings the one He has prepared for you, you will meet them whole, confident, and ready to build a legacy together. Prophetic reassurance and closing. Chosen one, you have walked with me through this message, and by now the picture should be clear. Your singleness has never been about rejection or delay. It has been about divine strategy. Every closed door, every ended relationship, every lonely season has been God building you, protecting you, and positioning you for something far greater than you imagined in the moment. This is not just about finding love, it is about fulfilling destiny. God has been writing a story where every chapter, even the ones filled with questions and loneliness, serves a greater purpose. He has been refining your spirit, preserving your energy, healing generational wounds, and preparing you for assignments that require your full focus and strength. He has been shaping you into someone who will not only enter a relationship, but sustain it, nurture it, and use it as a vessel for His glory. I need you to feel the weight of this truth. You are not behind. You are exactly where God needs you to be in this season. The enemy wants you to believe life is passing you by, that you are missing out. But in reality, you are ahead because you are allowing God to build your foundation before constructing your house. Many rush into relationships without this foundation and spend years trying to repair what was built on sand. You are letting the master builder prepare you so that when your union comes, it will stand every test. There is a prophetic shift coming in your life. For some of you, this message is confirmation that your season of waiting is drawing to a close. You will begin to see divine alignments, doors opening effortlessly, and a sense of readiness rising in your spirit. You will know it is time not because of desperation, but because of peace. A deep, unshakable peace that says, I am ready now. Not because I need someone, but because I am whole enough to share my wholeness with another whole person. For others, God is letting you know He still has work to complete in you before your partner arrives. And that is not something to fear or resent. It is something to embrace. The longer you allow Him to work, the more complete His blessing will be. Think of it like a master craftsman creating a piece of art. You would not rush Michelangelo while he is sculpting David. You would not pull a cake out of the oven before it is fully baked. God is the ultimate craftsman, and He refuses to present you half-finished. Trust the process. Trust the timing. Trust the hands of the one who knows you better than you know yourself. Hear me clearly, chosen one. The partner God is preparing for you is not just someone to love you. They are someone who will walk with you in purpose. They will understand your calling without you having to explain or defend it. They will respect your boundaries because they have their own. They will honor your spirit because they recognize the God in you. They will cherish your presence, not take it for granted. They will not be intimidated by your light, but will protect it, celebrate it, and add their own light to it. Together, you will be a living testimony of what God can do when two people fully submit their relationship to Him. And here is what will be different about your union. It will not be built on neediness, but on purpose. It will not be driven by loneliness, but by divine assignment. It will not be a relationship where one person completes the other, but where two complete people come together to multiply their impact. You will not be trying to fix each other, because you will have already done the work of healing yourselves. You will not be competing for control, because you will both be submitted to God. And the fruit of that kind of union is peace, joy, legacy, and kingdom advancement. Until that day comes, I urge you with everything in me, do not waste your single season. Do not spend it scrolling through social media, comparing your life to highlight reels, wishing you were somewhere else. Do not spend it bitter, resentful, or stuck in the past. Guard your heart from cynicism. Grow your gifts intentionally. Deepen your walk with God daily. Build the life He has placed in your heart, unapologetically. When your partner arrives, they will find you already living in purpose, not waiting for them to unlock it. They will find you already whole, not desperately searching for someone to complete you. That is the kind of union God blesses. That is the kind of relationship the enemy cannot touch. If this message has spoken to you, let me know in the comments. Type Amen if you receive this word. Share this video with someone who needs to hear it. You never know whose life could be transformed because you took a moment to pass along what blessed you. And if you have not subscribed yet, do it now. Hit that bell so you never miss what God is speaking through this channel. Every video is designed to encourage, equip, and empower chosen ones like you. Your patience is not in vain. Every day you choose obedience over compromise. Every time you trust God instead of rushing ahead. You are sowing seeds into your future. The harvest will be worth every tear, every lonely night, every unanswered question. God's promise is sure, and His timing is flawless. So stand firm. Refuse to settle for anything less than what God has spoken over your life. Keep your eyes fixed on Him, not on the calendar, not on comparison, not on pressure from others. Your story is unique, and it will unfold in a way that brings glory to God and joy to your soul. Before we close, receive this blessing. May the Lord continue to guard your heart and sharpen your discernment. May He fill your spirit with unshakable peace. May He strengthen you to walk confidently in this season, knowing you are chosen, loved, and protected. May your waiting be filled with purpose, your solitude rich with revelation, and your heart ready when your time comes. And when it does, may your union shine so brightly that it draws others closer to Him. Chosen one, this is your time to prepare, to grow, to trust, and to expect. Your story is not on pause. It is unfolding exactly as it should. God has you in His hands, and He will not fail you. Go forward with boldness, knowing you are not waiting in vain. You are being prepared for greatness. And when the moment comes, you will see that every second of this season was worth it. God bless you.